2 games here, Mark.
I think what a game. What a crazy circle, though, that this one might produce. It is the southeast down towards the southwest. We do favour the south side of the map. Nemesis go out early. As everyone else, well, they're going to try and find, majority of them will be able to find their spots. I'm intrigued about this kind of test tracks hold. Everlong, obviously, the only one now going for that one. The commit might be too much for a double team.
Yep, they're stretching for it, and they did see Sosid's parachute while they were going for that, but Sosid, of course, is just going to be going for the cars, going for the compounds, not really stretching too much further forwards because Nemesis is way far away from something like that. I'm trying to keep my eyes on anything else that might get a bit spicy. I thought maybe Elo Senpai was going to try and contest any vehicle or compound that Aduzi was going to, but it doesn't look like it's going to be the case here. So for the most part, looks like we're steady here. We're steady.
We are steady, and the zone give or take steady because it holds on to test track. Surprise, surprise. Aduzi down, M16 in hand, gets a connection, but not a knock. And lucky enough for them, Phil First is coming for the reinforcements. I was saying this the other week ago with scrims. Obviously, they normally drop south from here. They normally go to Hongxiang, and that's all where they play. VP play in this location a little bit more to the north. And I was concerned because for S8UL, Aduzi on his own sometimes gets overrun from the teams in the south. So I like that we've seen Phil First reinforce the position.
Yep, I got to agree. And again, right now for them, you can take no chances, right? Even if there is a slight, minute chance that somebody's going to be near you and trying to actually knock you, you cannot afford to lose any players anymore. And the thing is that sometimes in the past you'd say, okay, yeah, but it's their IGL that's down. He can lead from the backlines or whatever. Yeah, but in the case of S8UL, if it's a doozy, you're still losing a fantastic fragger as well. It's not worth it. He was leading some of the frags in some of the days that we had in these playoffs so far for the team.
Yeah, he's not the, I suppose, the old school, I'm going to say old school IGL, where it was just about making the calls, getting the rotation, because we see so many of them now globally, actually, being top fraggers, because they've got to step up, and I like that. And Aduzi is one of those, you've got to remember, he was one of the first, not obviously the first, but one of the first also adopting things like the glider. So I'm surprised that they're here on a day number 3, because they normally embrace these changes and try and find the ability to expose them and use the tools to their advantage.
I said they come alive at some of those last games, some of these last situations. So let's see if they come alive here today against the rest of this lobby. As Ghetto Gang trying to shut down Max as he drives on away here for Go Next. Unfortunately, a lot of their MO here so far today has genuinely been Go Next. Only 11 points on the board. But because of the sponging at the top, there's still an opportunity. You get a win. Suddenly you're right on up there here for the rest of the team.
I think that's what a lot of people have to kind of take on board, right? Because Team Nemesis has taken up so many points. The impact to that, obviously we're talking about one place is already gone. There's only 2. But the impact is the rest of the lobby. Yes, you want to avoid them if you're playing against them because you don't want to be coming across a team that's so warm, that's on fire. But actually, every point they take now from these penultimate game and into the final game is a point that we will get closer to potential tiebreaker or 1 or 2 points here or there.
And I think when you look at the center of this circle, I think X-Howl might want to get a little bit closer together. There will be some attempts at congestion on the middle positions like this, and I think that X-Howl obviously not safe, 14 points at the moment. Don't want to be losing players early as well here. So we'll see. It looks like they're already rendezvousing. Some of those players in the north side coming all the way down to them. Just in the nick of time. Just in case Everlong was to be one of the ones that was coming in from that east side.
Everlong, though, only 2 points so far. They've been unable to keep up with the pace that this lobby has produced at the moment. I'm really interested about that middle pack here. S8UL we've spoken about, but I look at these teams around them. X-Howl, massive potential. TMO, I'd argue to say, having a much better day. Are they going to be able to do enough to get over that line? Vis looking good. We spoke about the no-tag team. They're looking really good. And as I said, a little bit of an underdog, but showing their true colours and actually holding on to a spot.
I think it was the Mythov as well during Cups, correct me if I'm wrong, that went through quite a few changes roster-wise. So it feels like that they're keen to have, try to strive for the top spot, right? They weren't afraid of making some changes week to week to try and find that top spot.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. And we actually had the opportunity to chat away to Justice in the last interview thing. And I actually brought that up because from an outsider looking in, it looks like it could be chaotic. You're making changes. How does that? Because Justice, obviously, the IGL for the team and they're obviously trying to change things up. And they had Bad Boy 2K, really good player, great content creator. They replaced him out for Mika. Mika came in as a sub. Obviously, it took a content creator which has transitioned to an esports player for an actual dedicated esports player, so that logically made sense to me, right? And then obviously they parted ways with Sparta. The biggest thing I think people need to be aware of, because they've now filled their roster up, they have no opportunities to change, so they have to now stick with what they've got. They have to make it work.
Yeah, it's not too bad so far. The only issue is, of course, is that there is a ton of good teams in EMEA. And Baldinini right now is one of the teams above them after getting themselves that win against Nemesis. There's very few teams so far today that have been able to stand toe-to-toe with Nemesis, but they were definitely one of them. Given the position that they were in against Sunflower, will drive on away from the boys from No Tag Team, as they have secured that spot nice and strong. And those two locations actually are not too bad for a No Tag Team to have this 2-2 split on, and then be able to push people away.
No, I think a lot of these teams will be looking at the zone we had the other day, where we're going to see Test Track play across towards the east. We play into the open trade. This comes into kind of effect, and No Tag Team showing their knowledge. Excel. Well, they get the knock, and for Maldini, they're going to use the card. They're going to park up just to try and deny any shots coming in from No Tag Team while they reinforce their position. I love Rondo because there's loads of these little mountains and these little areas that you can use to dig down. And as I said in the pre-show, this is the one map that I think they can use kind of the foliage, the bushes to imagine start building a trench in behind bushes. There's no way you're going to be able to see them, especially in a car rotation.
Yeah, it felt like they were making a dip within a dip. And you know what? I'm okay with that. Dipception for this moment, I'll take it.
Yeah, I'll take it as well. Construction Workers, though, a team that's not taken lightly to need one pass in their, I suppose, line of sight, as it has been a full chase. It's not kind of worked out all the games they wanted. They are sitting in 12th, but again, another team that's on 11 points. Careful. As Nailip, though, has been that shining star for me, especially for this team. So he's the one that's kind of getting closer to that zone.
Strong mental fortitude, just like his biceps for a Nailip. But they still need to be strong and have mental fortitude, and they're still only 11 points. Currently tied with 5 teams in that position right now. So need a bit of a jump up. And coming in from the south side of a circle like this late doesn't fill me with a lot of confidence unless we get a far south shift on a circle like this, because those middle spots, once they are taken up, man, they are taken up. And there are some big open fields in between a lot of those positions, which make it hard to play in between them. So for a team like Construction Workers, you might be playing Edge and you might be playing it for a long time.
Yeah, especially they're not even moving over to go get the glider. So they are down on the ground, and they will be down in the trenches. I think maybe, is there an element of aggression? Stratus is having a little repair, having a think. Maybe he's checking out the map. No, he's going to swap over. He's getting swapping the guns from the trunk over. Tactical pickup, tactical swap. To ensure he can take more loot into late game.
On with the Pico. Yeah, the rest of this coming in as well. I think he knew, did Stratos, that he had a little bit of time to kind of play with here, considering the rest of the team's not here just yet. And again, they're quite late to a circle like this. Oh, that's also a reason.
That makes sense now. Okay.
Give him a boost.
He's going to need a boost. Where's the Pico when you need it? Wonder how much electric that drains. Habibi, though. PRDM, they are coming in at northeast. No, again, as you mentioned, not a lot of people ahead of them because everyone has gone for that centralized spot. As we are just away, 24 seconds away before we see where this zone's going to go.
Construction Workers getting precariously close to Boars. A few shots from the west as well will mean that they'll fall back just a little bit. They're going to crash in on this. I mean, the rest of Boars is behind them here. I think they might actually go for this. Oh, on the south side.
I think they heard the single-eyed shots, and the call was to make the crash. They don't think they really knew about the rest of the team or a different team on that north side. Zone does shift. We're holding the test track, so we're going to have to move anyway. But it's the telling side. Construction Workers, they want to find teams, and you heard it in the comms before. They were talking about we need to hit the tyres, get the tyres delay, and they just got a tyre there. They're going to try and collapse.
Nexal going to be rendezvousing with one another on the Flores position, and Baldinini moving in on the east side of that as well. A lot of people driving at the moment, especially a lot of those teams on that south side, realizing now that their options are going to be limited. PBRU is trying to shoot at S8UL. S8UL also moving in towards this position. Maybe they even got a crate there as well. But if they take casualties here, it will be dire. They've not got a bad spot to be able to play this from to get things rolling on game number 4.
I really want to see him do well because the guys deserve it. They work so hard, and I said the other day, there's a bit of luck on circle. There's a whistle passed on the shots, and then they overextended. Yesterday was about getting to centre circle, but that didn't work out for them. At what point does the consistency turn to luck for them? Go Next Esports though, T-bone their own car, so they didn't want Max going away. They want to try and keep him in this fortification they're making.
Yeah, looking to see if they can just flick on around this position and see if they can get any shots off. But Acalyptos, no, nothing for him right now. So they're getting out of dodge. Where are we going to go, though? Technically, actually, I think that there's a few spots that they could go to just north of the center of this circle. But they don't know it just yet. They don't quite have the intel. So they're going to be stopping here alongside S8UL, which isn't in nade range of them per se. They need to fortify this location. A bit of digging, a bit of deployable cover, a bit of car fort maybe if they want to stop here.
Yeah, got to keep these guys active, right? That compound that Exhal's in is going to cause these guys problems. I know S8UL is taking shots there, and anyone that comes over this side as well, they are fully exposed. And we've seen from it, like construction workers, if they get the opportunity to expose a team, that there's a spot that they might stumble across.
Yeah, one knock goes the way of the myth of, but I think just as his reservoir there from where he is, it was just quite a long range M24 shot over to the west there from where Starry Skies currently is. Throwing down some smokes. I don't think they need smokes too much just yet, considering no one's really looking at them right now. They've got a little bit of time. Actually, there was a few shots coming in from No Tag Team down on the far south, so I think they were quite concerned about that. But they felt more like probing shots than anything of extreme aggression.
Probing shots might be coming. Does need to put some mortars. No ammo at the moment. I think it might be more of a lineup. You can see that they are bunny hopping as they're both jumping over. But that's going to be in between both of them. Go Next and No Tag. I don't think they've got it zeroed in right.
I think, okay, so it's 181 meters. I think it's just short for Go Next if they want to actually shoot for that.
That's about right.
We'll go a little further. Little further. Ammo. Turn right.
It's all well and good, but they need the bang bang bits.
Wait, did they not have any shells? Am I
shells
stupid?
in there? No, it's zero. Top left.
Okay, well, I didn't even look at it.
He's so zero. He's getting zeroed in. I think it's good. I think
it's not bad now. Yeah.
Maybe he's waiting for the zone. Maybe he's waiting for them to hold on to the zone, and whoever backfills that location, or if Go Next Esports remain, we'll have to wait and see. There he is. It's right next to it. He's ready to go. He's staged. Zone shift. They're right on top. They're in a prior spot, and arguably, where they're zeroing in is a good spot. Teams, especially coming from the south, will always go for there. So well rehearsed, well positioned. Let's see if XL can find a kill.
Yeah, I guess there's a world where you hold on to it just in case, if the circle shifts there and you feel like you have to move, but I don't think so, considering the compound that they had, or, just in case it shifts all the way north and then they suddenly have to move anyway, so you'd be shooting at them if they actually roll on past. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see if or when they actually want to take those shots, as Ghetto Gang now moving in from this north side has to make a bit of a crash on through. There is technically still some spots on this northern side that they can play. PBRU in a bit of a fight as well, though, with construction workers. Good nade, but Nabat does knock Vex here. Needs to get some reply to this. Nailup, you've got to get a knock, son.
He has to get a knock. He sort of double backed and then went back again. Didn't peek. Nade back, disciplined enough not to try and aggress, but the cover for him does remain. Here comes a confirmation. Vex is down. That secondary nade goes a bit too far. Has to be cautious. Here's the cars coming from behind, and Pixel making the calls. He's on the other side of that ridge. Nailed it though. He gets the shots, but it's Pixel gets that confirmation.
Yeah, with the M249 from an alternate angle. Not bad at all. Here comes more reinforcements, though, from PBRU. How's this going to actually work on now? April and Ghetto Gang's going to move away from the myth of, who now had to make it a bit of a dash from that west side, considering that they were locked out a little bit. They knew that there was going to be some confrontations going that way as well, though, because there was teams ahead of them. Vard hits X-Rays are on a crazy flick there as they're driving on past here. But Pixelic is down to a FAMAS of all things, so PBRU has some big guns on board.
We have some big guns on boards. Now they're in position. Know that they're going to provide more cover. Oh! Potential opportunity. Smoke comes out. Nailed applying pressure though. So he just drive forward. Pixel has the hard cover. Now potentially trying to find the angle. Avoid any heavy utility coming through. Grenade does come out far. Again, now pushes his way forward. Though dodges the grenade.
He's crazy.
Oh, and he gets him one over as he swings by. But he's moved forward. And that FAMAS though, it needs to start connecting those shots.
He tried to push him even through the other side of the smoke here. Nail was there in waiting, but it wasn't going to be enough. Hoche takes him down with the FAMAS. This has gone not the way construction workers wanted it. Where is Vard? Is there another drive-by on the way here? Going up against the FAMAS, though, it's not too easy. Some shots go ahead against him here. PBRU also kind of scrambling. Everybody knocked. There's no way they're really going to be able to get these reses off. They're going to be pushed by the blue. And here comes the third party from Vuptrox, potentially, if they come in from the north.
Vuptrox want the kills. Doozy finds the final blow, and best luck with the steal as well. So Pixel goes down, and Vard confirmed out. Vard does get a point for his hard justice, and best luck though, knowing there's bodies on the ground, he'll try and find another one as well. So that's a real good pickup there. Look at SAUL. Like Vuptrox, they went looking for the kills.
Yeah, good cleanup. Really good. Considering all those fights that went down, that's great kill feed usage as well. Seeing that both teams had 3 knocked, so surely there's great grand opportunity over there, over them hills. But we do shift over towards X-Howl. I mean, they had a great 2-2 split across 2 very important compounds, and now where X-Howl's position is, this is technically a fortress. It's on its own lonesome hill here. X-Howl should have a game of this one.
I suppose it's just going to keep people at bay, right? Teams might want to come looking this way. The destructible train, interesting to see how they play up, especially on that sort of east side. Do they make foxholes? Is them pushing after? Do we see mortars going back to be used offensively? So they were trying to be offensive here with Ghetto Gang. Fist moving as well. They've backed themselves up into a corner. I think they can just about get out here. Team Nemesis post a nice postal package, but the guys are high enough, and with one blue zone, it's not going to be enough. They should be able to med through that.
Well, still about. What are you going to do, Nemesis? How much do you need, right? You've had enough. You've had your fill, Nemesis. Just leave. That'd be great. Hybrid scope at the moment, though, for anybody's here. Having a little bit of a look on over. And we'll just fall back to their craters. We love the craters.
Yeah, provided by this, I believe, as well. So, it's Excel. At what point do they start getting a little bit itchy about how many kills they can get? The mortar's going the other way.
I didn't see the range.
And best luck finds Go next. So he's actually crossed over the road. Remember, they were neighbours. Divided by the road. This one's divided by a mortar. Odin finds arm 2, and it's right in the heart of this.
Yeah, I didn't see the range, but if that's around 170 or something like that, then that is perfect, dead on the money. They've got to know that there should maybe be more shots actually coming this way as well. But if the smokes do dissipate... Oh, dear me. Okay, we reversed on out. Oh! Well, thank God you're in a BRDM.
Oh, if that blew up, that would have been insane. There's 1-2, he gets pushed forward, pays down to a one-shot. Habibi refusing to get out. He knows it's safer in the BRDM. Now they get the opportunity to get the res back in. Rest of the team's now going to flood their way in. The zone shift is obviously down, and still with X-Howl, they've got a huge fortification to hold out. And if there's a way to get rid of TMO, it's a C4.
Indeed. Massive stuff coming in. It feels like they're having an absolute field day of this one. A lot of fun if you're kind of breaking people with a C4 on that side. Now they're driving all the way down south as well here towards Sosed to try and use that. But Phil first destroys Vorix here from Voptrox. And mixing down as well. SAUL, are they finally making a run of it?
They have to. It's a penultimate game here, James. They've got to get points. They've got to get over that line. In the top 3, it is tough. SAUL now up to 4 kills. They got 3 bodies. Molodok is down. Grenade comes through. Does he get the connection? As a doozy, shimmies himself towards the left. Gets his way out of the danger, but he's got a P90. All he has to do now is wait, because he's got the zone behind him.
P90. I'm scared, man. I'm always on P90 watch. Like bird watching, you know? Like keeping an eye on exactly where they are. Oh, that's a lovely one. But no, it's always nice. Oh, that's a P90 double. Oh, go next. I really should be on P90 watch. More nades forwards here against the BRDM as well as the push coming in from Voptrox. Phil first doing a ton of damage. Oh, they lose him here to the annoyance of this BRDM.
No.
Oh, that car does not move. Jeez Louise.
Handbrake. That's
on.
what it was. Handbrake is on. Don't forget when you get in your car, handbrake always has to be on. But for Voptrox, though, they've received a huge amount of damage. They've got the BRDM and they've got to go back and try and get those reds in. That gives S8UL opportunity potentially to get a few more kills. They're up to 5 here, but 5 is not enough. They need to get more.
They for sure need more. I don't know where they're going to find it, though, if they're going to get bogged down in the quagmire of these fights on this western side, though. The P90 will give them more. Fine down once again. The Doozy is just so annoying here. He's just popping on up, saying P90, 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 and then lying down again. P90, P90, P90.
Max is like, let me go res you. Okay. Oh, now you're down. Okay, let me go res you.
Oh, my God.
You're down. Another P90 shots come through. A Doozy, though, causing the damage. Max playing medic for Team Go next at the moment as they have to try and find a little bit of safety. The zone, well, it's starting to move in. It's going to force the guys forward, though, as they get their repair kit on. Hicks finds Melbourne, and now comes the great run, and it's the great migration. They can't go that far. There's one, there's two, there's 3, and guess what? A Doozy, the IGL, he's back, and he's on 4 kills.
Yes, he is. It's a good job that we're able to keep him up in this game. They're having a P90, 829 damage in 21 minutes in this game. That's insane. There's still 13 teams alive here as Voptrox. Go away, you...
Go away! Get out of here!
A stink bug. Get out of here with your BRDM. Although that being said, you know, for Voptrox, right, having a BRDM like this, being a nuisance like this is also very important for them to try and get themselves into it. And that is going to be... Oh, a little nudge. Season. Okay, that's an easy cleanup. Sorry, Adoozy, you've done your most, but it's not going to be enough.
No. And obviously, no tags found the knock, and the guys just split from S8UL. And then this is good to see Exhale leaving the compound. I said, what can they bring to the table? And they've dug themselves a little bit of a foxhole outside. So I like this because they are going to be able to stage and slow down any teams encroaching on the east. Everlong, though, a team that needs to kind of get climbing up the leaderboard. 2 points at the moment in 16th place. But they had the Pico bus, and now they have a little bit of zone. But Exhale slightly distracted. They might get the opportunity. They get the opportunity with this. There's 1. There's 2, though. And another 2 points goes in the way of the same.
Everlong needs a lot more than that, though, if they're able to get things going here against this. Nade forwards against Redline, and they are donezo by the looks of things, unless they can actually survive some of the onslaught that's going to be coming in from this side here. There's Boars, all 4 of them. I feel like they really need to be paying attention to this. Oh, Boldenini actually did huge damage to Nemesis down on that south side, the east side even, I should say. All of them are on just with this one little hill. One more nade. Who's got the one more nade to remove the Titans?
The one nade to stop them all. Well, there's one for a red line as he goes out towards boards. Hello, Senpai. Dodge, duck, and dive. The bounce is good. 35 damage is done, but he's able to sort of dodge back the other way. More grenades come through, and in boards charging away through the open terrain, though, taking on red line that sits in front of them. They have to get through there, and they have to get to zone.
Little foldable shield in a crater at the moment. Still needs to continue that little leapfrog forwards, as you mentioned. Flash forwards. Okay, what are you going to do with the flash, though? It looks like right now, no movement going to be happening just yet. Flashes are coming your way. You're burning, Hicks. You're burning. Get behind. Run away. Run away. Charred boar. Yum, yum.
Here comes more charred boar, though. Panzer just falls short. Zico in his foxhole, waiting for the boars to come steamrolling his way. So Steve does get the confirmation of Baldini, though. As Garaxo peeks up and over, gets the information. Smoke goes out, doesn't quite clear the foxhole. He's going to be bloomed himself, though. But he gets huge amounts of damage. I think he knows exactly where to shoot out. But the smoke's causing him more problems than good.
Yeah, and actually a big push forwards here from Hello Senpai as well. Panzerfaust goes in here from Zico, but it's not going to be enough. Balls shut them down. Hello Senpai with a massive weight on his shoulders as he lifts them through that. Good stuff by Hello Senpai. That pushes Balls into top 3. 8 kills at the moment here from this eastern side.
And they started off in 7th place, so they have been climbing the leaderboard. Good hold. Every team that stands in front of them gets pushed over. So Cedido for Team Nemesis, 3 kills for them. Bodini down players. Now the confirmation has been done. Sunflowery is there, but so Steed has the opportunity to try and get one more. Not like they need them, James, but when you can hold a team out, why not?
Yeah. It's been quiet towards the middle of the circle as well, understandably so, right? Nobody wants to have to push up on the X-Howl compound, as over on the edges, Team Nemesis still tries to hold out what was a nade going against them, and they were not best pleased by it. It got PUBG there for a second. Some of his shots hit the car in front of him, despite looking a little further on. And Baldanini is gone to the blue zone of all things. So now they've been pushed out of that top 3. Now they're going to need to do something more in this last game here, as Boars, the like wild wolves in their actual Chechen, is going to be trying to do something against Everlong in the north side.
So unfortunately, they've got the blue behind him, so they have to keep this element of pressure on, but they're expelling utility. Limitation will be like things like smokes. You can see him now using bandages. Hicks got to get going, but smokes on their side of Everlong is going to help them to a degree. As they kind of play leapfrog, they stack up behind one shield. Hicks, though, just double checking. The molly is not getting closer to him.
Oh gosh, the Howl compound's still in, which means that the rest of these teams now are trying to maneuver around it. No tag team on the south side is trying to just wiggle alongside. Oh, good shots there from anybody. And Boars is gone. I'm not surprised that they couldn't really get him from that. I think that they'd done enough on that side, considering that I thought they were going to go out earlier.
Well, they got into the top 3 as well, and that's what you need. No tag store in this one. They're in second place, 29 points, though. As they have cleared their side, they held off S8UL, and they held the southwest corner. Team Nemesis down to 2, have an element of zone, as they will look to try and reposition. As, fortunately for Everlong, they're not quite in. Again, Starry Sky's not quite in, because as you say, X-Howl's compound just shifted out.
A little, we'll see. I like that Nemesis is still like, yeah, we'll hold on, we'll be annoying still. 72 points in 3 and 3/4 games, let's call it, so far. As Nitro and Starry Skies now have to make a move on to no tag team. But Rafa does quite a bit of damage. 94 damage. Oh, and the molly gets popped ahead of him.
He shot it.
Yeah.
He was just shooting his way. The molly went straight into the line of sight. Some call it skill, others might call it luck, but it worked out for Rafa. He's going to get flushed out now. Nitro has to swing across to the other side, spray towards the tree to try and get the connection, see if anyone's peeking. But it's not going to be the case. The Starry Skies have to launch forward. They launch forward ahead of the guys, though, from no tags, but they can't find footing at all as Starry Skies refuse to go down.
Oh, what a leapfrog forwards. Brilliant stuff here by Vazo and the boys, shutting down No Tag Team, who is now in a little bit of jeopardy, right? I mean, they were in that top 3. Yes, 31 points, but now Starry Skies, that's enough for him to start challenging the top 3. Over leaping Boars at the moment. So said, well, Nemesis still being annoying on this side. But Mark, I am a sucker for an early molly pop. Like, whenever I see people shooting the mollies at the sky, that wasn't quite one of those, but I'm a sucker for it. I'll pop every time.
Skill, luck, it works out. That's all we need to know. A bit like XL. They're now working out the compounds. They're looking to try and get the kills they do because they need to, again, climb the leaderboard. Difficult when you're in hard cover, right? We've seen the destructible train that's given power back to hard cover. And as a result, teams have kind of come around XL and they've held them at bay. Unbreachable, so to speak. I think the winner so far has been Everlong. They started this game with 2 points. They're now up to 12. They're now looking to try and climb that leaderboard more. If they can convert more from this lobby, they could be the victor.
Yeah, imagine if they make a run for it, similar to what we saw day 3 of our playoffs last time around. That said, one more death as Vazu. If Vazu goes down, that's another podium finish for Nemesis. So they're just kind of biding their time. They're very clear and keen. And there we go. There it is. That's another top 3 for the boys. First, second, first. And now who knows where they end up here. You'd expect... Well, actually, now that I look at it, there is a world where X-Howl and Everlong just fight each other and Nemesis is able to get more than a top 3.
I'm with you because I can't see where Everlong go. Everlong, like you just saw the man looking at the ridge. They have to fight this way. X-Howl needs some points. It's going to be his disruption. They are potentially handing this onto a plate. Sosadid, he's already on the move. Everlong have gone, but they have bled here, X-Howl. The time is to get the res as quickly as they can. And Team Nemesis, they're already on the move.
Yep, so Sid driving on up here, trying to go against the Res's positions that's going forward. He sees Nail coming. He just jumps straight on out. He's insane. Oh no, it's all gone wrong for Howl. I can't believe it, Mark.
Oh, what was that? He didn't even wait for the car to stop.
No.
He's launched his
8
way
kills.
forward to getting kills. 8 kills for Sosa did, and now it's a 2 versus 1. Team
no way.
Nemesis, they showed up here on day 3.
There's no way. I really wish they'd won that second game now. Oh my god. This is absolutely barbaric. The Mad, actually a fantastic player on the side of Exhal. Maybe he can make something happen from all of this, but he's not even really aware of exactly where the Nemesis players are either. So he's working with limited information. He's going to peek on over, sees him in the distance, and actually goes for a spray. Doesn't quite fully connect. He gets so said. So now just needs to deal with another one, but he knows that the Mad's low, and he gets it.
God.
It's 3 wins on the day for Nemesis. It could have been 4, but what an insane... But, I mean... I've not seen it in these past couple of days, right? I really wish I had done, but not just yet. It's going to have to be a big effort from them, I think is fair to say, and maybe a big effort on a hot drop on Military Island. Where's our circle? Oh my god, it's straight on S8UL.
They need it, but the thing is, they're in the centre of the circle. That means they might not be getting
changing
those
my
points. No. Another point. Beep, bleep. It's locked in now. It's locked in. There's a possibility, but they need to farm kills because they're in the centre of the zone, and it doesn't mean that points are coming their way. So I'll be interested to see what they do on this one. Go next, esports. Find the guns, and they find obviously Voptrox here. Voptrox again a team. I just find it a bit difficult now for both these teams to get through. Obviously, Go next lower down that leaderboard. They're in 15. Voptrox are in 12. They're on 14 points. They need more than just a hot drop. They need to clear a lot of the lobby to get through, which is a bit of a shame because actually I really like sort of root for Voptrox. I think they're a great team, a great bunch of guys. Just haven't quite got the magic that they've been able to produce here, and maybe some of that is because of Team Nemesis farming so many points.
Yeah, now I think what's interesting about this circle is that technically, I think if you've done your homework and if Nemesis sticks to what they normally do, Nemesis will wide wrap on that north side, come in just north of Lipovka and probably on the edge, right? And if that is the case, you don't go anywhere near there. You stay away from there. You go elsewhere. You go to Lumberyard Hill. You go anywhere else but there if Nemesis sticks to their normal game plan from this kind of rotation on this kind of circle, Mark. What do you think?
Yeah, I think these guys are well rehearsed. They've got the muscle memory to do that, and I don't think they've changed the game plan. Their coach won't want them to change the game plan. I know that be breeding some confidence here, and I think Martin has a valid point, especially around S8UL. If they can kind of stick it to them, I think they will. But for the risk of going all the way through from the top to the south of the zone, I don't think it's worth their while. I think they'll wait for mid game to try and find them.
If there was a world, okay, so if we theorize whilst this hot drop's still going on, if there's a world where Nemesis would want to push S8UL, yeah, good nade. I think that they wouldn't do that rotation that I just suggested. I think they would do something crazy like an emergency pickup and try and get into the heart of this circle and see if they could actually find them, because that's probably the only way that they would get close to them in the early to mid game, I would think. But this is like super theoretical.
I think the guys are too nice. I just generally do. They're just so nice guys. Like you met them as well. Like I know they're competitive. I know they want to get a win, but there's a win with a smile on the face half the time. But we'll see. We'll wait and see. At the moment, Go next esports looking for the flush. Where'd he go? I swear I got someone.
Somewhere.
Using the smoke to his advantage. Blist has closed the gap slightly. Mixino moves around as he's more in that sort of now northwest section.
Redline is coming this way from the West Bridge, by the way.
And they're coming down as well.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I think Ivers was doing a little bit of okay, he's not as deep as I thought they could be, but they're coming along here for the West Bridge. I guess maybe they thought that there was going to be some barrier teams, and maybe this was a better way forwards. But this is a little bit unexpected for me. Their route.
That's an interesting mode of transport as well. Vorax has been confirmed. I suppose, even if you come up late, you've got the recall system. So I suppose for Redline, whoever the victor is, even if they're a little bit late to it, they know exactly where to go, because expectations are if they get the kill feed right, they might lose blood on either side.
I actually, considering Redline is dead last, I kind of really like this, because if you've got any shot of being able to advance now in second and third, you've got to go balls to the wall. You've got to be hunting every single kill you possibly can, as well as maybe getting the win. So I don't mind them trying for this.
You have to wait and see. Pains is hand off a couple of shots, kind of goes down. Not good though for no tag team. They need to try and hold. You can see them obviously progressing through to the final. If they can hold on at the moment, 31 points definitely is not safe at the moment.
Not at all. Just hanging around at the moment. Still slow and steady here is this hot drop. Neither team wants to give up stuff. Seeing what they're going to get done here. Blist just peeking all around these corners. That's the problem sometimes here. Some of these hot drops can stagnate. And that really will cause both teams problems, right? Because now look what's happened here. The third party, which hasn't really been super aggressive, a third party, but it means that there's an entire barrier. Oh my God, he sees him.
Just as well. There was nearly a well where he's going to be midway across the road, and they could have been like passing ships in the night. He go in the corner of his eye, picks up Mixer. Now he's got the information. There's one on the wide wrap. Now he's trying to piece his puzzle together. A couple of shots come over. Bliss takes some damage though, as he's taken towards the higher grounds, trying to get again the information where he can. Go Next Esports have to kill. They've got the numbers. Bliss though trying to hold the angle. Then he goes back, and Bliss gets a bit of a connection.
I feel like nobody wins from this scenario now.
No, not at all.
Yeah. if you'd have been able to wipe straight away, cool. But right now, I feel like everyone's stuck. Even Redline, I feel like to a degree, right? If you can come and clean up and mop some of this up, great. But you're conceding such what is potentially any circle favor as time goes on.
And I've got the map feed open as well. This one's an interesting read for me. G2G, they've actually gone, or Ghetto Gang have actually gone to the position that Nemesis like to move in on. So that is a real telling sign. It's outside the zone. They know that they might be coming that way.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. At the same time, though, they have not stopped at no lean. We still have this fight going on. Zico and the boys from Redline, I think they got themselves 2 knocks out of all of this so far. I don't know if they got the follow-ups just yet, though. They've not been able to really count towards that kill position. Actually, Fine was one of the ones that did happen. Look at how high up Zico is over on a very synonymous spot with being able to hold out certain locations on military.
He's farming information now. He's just piecing this puzzle really quickly together, finding where the team's getting the knock. They're on 2 kills as well. They know exactly where the remaining bodies are of some of the team. I think they're trying to figure out where kind of Voptrok's final player is. And again, a team which I would have put a little bit higher up the leaderboard, but as things fall, as PUBG games unfold, Voptrok's been unable to claim those kills that they needed.
I don't know what else to say about this hot drop. I feel like anything that's really going to come from it here as Go Next. Still only just 1 on the board. Redline. Okay, another knock. We've got up to 3 kills so far. If we can get a confirm, that'll be great. Maybe another one.
Another knock.
Jeez. They're actually doing a really good job of getting all of these knocks and maybe some follow-ups on a kill, but they need some of these off angles. I think down towards the bottom carcasses, they're trying to move into an off angle to try and clean that up.
Yeah, Zico, you see, he took the tire and then he actually went to the car. He pinged the car. So the guys know exactly where it is. That's why they're full sprinting now to that pinged location, expecting for the rest to be happening. But it's allowed them the opportunity to kind of tick off a huge amount of zone and close the gap. Nice move from Go Next Esports, though. They tried to get away from that one. No damage, but it doesn't matter, though, because they're already in the grasp of Redline.
Yeah, I thought maybe that nade was going to tip him off as to exactly where he's moved here, but he's going to try and spray around the left-hand side of this smoke. Not doing too bad against it. Max is also down as well to the blue as quickly as that. I think he took some damage from guns and then took the tick of the blue, but yeah, that's a nade forwards. Hey, Go Next. Valiant effort in the end. I appreciate the idea of going for your hot drop, but you've been out-thunk by Redline, who is just coming in for the cleanup.
Interesting that Bliss for Voptrox hasn't left. He's staying here. He's fighting. He's not even gone to ground. Again, it's a phase 1. I suppose if he had the meds, he could have gone a little bit to ground. Redline
Might be waiting for the blues chips or something if you can sneak them.
Yes, but that's exactly what I'm saying. Like, that's my logic as well. That's how I would play. But he started taking shots. So I think after Redline clear this section, they're going to now draw their attention back towards the north. And then we see it. Then they're going to now try and make the play. And now we see the clash. The zone shift. Oh, my God. The zone shift down to the southeast. We've got a huge amounts of water in. And now Chaos on the other side. Ghetto Gang, well, they did wait it out for Nemesis. And they bagged themselves too.
That's more water than land. And yes, they predicted exactly where they were going to be moving. We were talking about it much much earlier on in this game. So again, studious minds would have been able to punish this Diffex though with a Panzerfaust. Looks like we won't be getting a 4th win from them as April does go down. Unless they were able to get all the blue chips on and then somehow win, which would kind of be insane. But it looks like here Ghetto Gang was trying their very best to punish what should have been and was a predictable transition.
Yeah, I think that's the problem when you are consistent in the way you approach the game, especially the early game. Teams that do the VOD reviews get the opportunity to try and deny. There's one, but you might do as many VOD reviews as you want, but it's Diffex and this guy packs a punch. He now tries to deny the information on 1. There goes for a 1 versus 1. He has the opportunity now to disengage and get SoCD back up.
Crazy stuff. I didn't even get a chance to talk about the circle. It's more water than land, Mark. This is, of course, of all things. Now, Construction Workers actually has an amazing compound in that. So maybe they can make a crazy dash themselves for as many points as possible. We'll see what actually wants to go down here. But at the same time, S8UL has moved in north of that. Maybe that will work on out, but there's so many names, so many teams, so many chances for these teams here to be able to get 2nd or 3rd, because literally anybody winning this game at this point in that circle could be jumping on in.
Forget a gang. They've got a call now if anybody's. Which res station does he want to go to? Because he's going to have to try and pick one, and there's many that Team Nemesis could potentially go for. That zone, as we saw, is pretty chaotic, though. TMO going for that rotation round, out by Milton Power. They're now going to go for the back door into Mini Power, but we have a split here. S8UL claiming as much as they can. We know they've been exposed on their own a few times in the doozy. Well, he cuts loose. He's going to jump out, but No Tag might be able to pick him up. He's got to be careful. He's got a car waiting. It's a James Bond exit, and a doozy looking to escape.
I think that is extremely smart. You've got to get out of there, but it's not going to be early enough. Mika and He-Man do take him out. That's a disaster for S8UL, who lose their IGL. And again, one of their top fraggers. That is a disaster. There's no way they're going to be able to recover the blue chip. There's no way they're going to be able to get him up from there. Being divided across Mini Milter Power and these 2 compounds feels like in this lobby, in this circle, with all of that water in there, Mark, it's just too much to bear.
James, it's not been just this game, though. Every game, think about the kill feed. They're always one of them's a bit further out. Anybody's Get a Gang has been found. It's always one of them out. They've always gone for a flank. They're always trying to hold a bit of train. It's just not working out. And unfortunately for them, they had the exit plan. I like it. But they should have been thinking, should have seen these cars coming in and going, do you know what? Let's not hold this much terrain. Especially, like, what we're saying, I'm going to argue 60% water to a 40% zone, maybe 50-50, give or take. We add the little splash at the bottom.
Yeah, this is crazy. Just so you know, Nemesis has got the res off. So
the gods are back.
yeah, that's a problem. That is definitely a problem. Circle shifts. We still have a lot of water in play. Red line's coming over the bridge here, now trying to enter some of the circle as well. This is a terrifying and terrible circle for all of these teams to have to play. Vis now moving along the coastline as well, trying to sneak on in on the shoreline of the cliffs, which actually usually I don't mind playing as much as, yes, you know eventually it's going to go away from water. The cliffside does give you a bit of a reprieve from some of the worst spots in these circles for quite a bit.
It's just that ticking time bomb, right? You might feel safe for a little while, but God, if someone decides to rotate in, Bomb shots come back. Guess who's back? They're going to be able to rotate on that water side as well, and that might expose some of the teams, and they get the opportunity. Other side, though, it's a danger. Nemesis stuck up. They're going towards Powder, uncontended as well, so they're going to have the opportunity now to get all gear and looted.
God, I wonder how much milk power still got left in the tank here. As I say, UL does get Phil first knocked, best lost next arena, and I don't know, man. I think they're a bit disconnected from one another. They can't even get Phil first back up unless they make a big move for it. You've got to try and make a crash and see what you can actually get done here from this, but because Everlong is in that compound already. I don't know how S8UL does this as 2, man.
We've seen crazier things happen. But
true.
Yeah, I'm with you. It was just such a shame. I think the expectation for the org, the expectation for the teams, and obviously the individual players they should be up there. But this is going to have an impact now on the global stage, right? Because the qualification, because the points, this story is going to continue now throughout the whole year.
No, it will. I need to check their PGC points and see exactly where they're at already. But again, they were like 5th or something like that in that first final. It's quite a good chunk of PGC points. But yeah, they're going to have to make a really good run of it in the next PEC later on, after EWC, after the PGSs have gone down as well. So very, very brutal indeed, as now we have ourselves what is still an incredibly difficult circle here for these teams to try and deal with.
Well, we are phase 3, but we're down to 14 teams at least. 51 players are up on the battlegrounds, and there is still a huge amount of water. Nabat does get Ivis, and obviously doesn't want to play anymore, so Dino runs them over for Redline as they do make the run across the beachfront. PBRU already positioned up here, looking for the swap over. Clicks dry on one, needs to get a connection. The tire's already gone, and he just jumps out at the end, and Nabat gets the final blow.
Yeah, for everybody else now, with it basically being 60+% water, everyone knows where the circle should be going, and indeed it does. It centers straight up on Construction Workers Compound. Now, Construction Workers Compound is a fortress. It's really a great place to play from. The only problem is that, again, in a lot of lobbies like this, a lot of teams know how to negate the lines of sight of that lobby. So you might think, oh yeah, we're dead center, we might be able to get a lot of kills from here. Oftentimes teams will try and avoid those lines of sights like the plague.
I don't know if the Mad's going to find the medic that he needs to get out of here, because he's stuck in a bit of a bowl. He might have to go for a swim here, the Mad. So he's going to go for a run up. Maybe he uses physics and goes a little bit more to the left. Go on the Mad, get up there, lads.
He's done it.
Let's go.
That was good.
Don't go straight up the hill. Make sure you go for a little bit of a different approach.
Yeah, a little wiggle at the end.
He's going for a wiggle himself. And the Breeps wander away, and forever long, it's not going to be forever long that they can stay in the compound as he has to get out there. Run!
Ooh. Okay, no tag team here trying to secure themselves as well. How many Molotovs do you have? Set that entire balcony on fire if you want. Doffy with the C4 as well. Everlong is gone here. There will be no... Hello? Well...
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, I'll go back to what I was saying. There will be no repeat finals for Everlong. Oh, hello, here's Full Force Team Nemesis once again. Oh no, here come the problem.
Oh, I feel for anyone that has to stand in their way. They're on 91 points. I know Martin is sitting there counting, watching, waiting for them to clear 100.
I mean, and they might, right? They had 2 down, and now they've been able to get the res off here once again. The fact that this technically actually does have 3 still in this circle ahead of where Nemesis is might be a bit of a blessing here for them. It really depends where Nemesis wants to go once again. Nemesis knew that after they had to get that 2 res off, they're going to be playing Edge forever in this game. And they're, let's be real, quite happy about the idea of going for those big fights.
Oh, well, we need some big fights now. And the big fight's still going. Bottom side of the leaderboard, PUBG RU taking on Redline. Redline trying to climb as much as they can. They're on 6 kills, but again, I feel like it feels bad. Every kill that Redline take, they got such a mountain to climb. They're going to need to get a win and all these kills to stand a chance to get in.
This has been a day of PUBG, and it doesn't even stop yet. It's still got PAS to actually watch when all this has gone down, but jeez Louise. The EMEA has not disappointed. Vorix tries to keep Voptrox alive and kicking here. They've only got themselves 14 points, and now they are stuck, totally stuck on this western side here with all of these teams that are just trying to claw for it. Molodoc's down, S8UL's hopes fading into non-existence.
Everyone's, unfortunately, does come to an end, as all great things do. Voptrox got the bodies back, but they're back down to a duo. Good. He was got a level 3 vest. He hasn't got the ammo ready to expel, but he's got a C4 if he can tactically place that. Oh, there's another one. That's a way to clear out. S8UL, they're now on the run. As Best Locks, the final player.
Yep. Yes,
this
indeed.
Could be an explosion ending.
Starry Skies, no tag team. Yeah, now closing in and locking in that jaw-like grip. There goes S8UL. They will not be making it to the finals here for the second one for PEC. A disaster for S8UL, considering a 5th place in the previous finals. Looking so good in day 2 and day 3 of that final as well. But anyway, our attention turns elsewhere now. No tag team still trying to keep themselves alive. But one of these teams, if they eliminate each other, or one of them eliminates the other, that could be their hopes gone here, Mark.
Yeah, qualification versus not qualifying. Teams at the bottom are dying. The teams at the top are still remaining here. Starry Sky goes around the other side. Grenade goes through. PUBG RU will fall. That's 12th place for them, and they will be checking out. Starry Skies, though, have to try and find the opening, but they do find another knock. Macintosh is down, and it's kicking off on the other side. There's no tag team looking to try and get the kills as well.
They're the only two teams in this northern side. If you win out this fight, that might just be your qualification in the bag, but it comes at the behest of one other team here. Guaranteed not going, because the other teams on that south side are going to be salivating over the idea of the catch-up, considering that that goalpost will not be moving. As Silas trying to dance on around, he did 900 some damage in the first game of the day here. But can we get a little bit more from a secondary angle here from Starry Skies? Can Silas, the prodigy from a little while ago, be able to do something about the rest of no tag team now moving in on this position? He's trying to decide where he wants to go. Doffy from a distance from Boldenini shut down. That gives a little bit of a reprieve here for Silas.
A little bit of a reprieve, but he has to try and breach his way up. He hears the click. Gets some flash up. Now looking for the secondary flash as well, but he needs to try and time it. 389, 556. For Connor, the final player, it might be desperate times and desperate places. They have been played so well today, and it would be gutting for them if they fall just short of the finish line.
Yeah, no tag team. They've had a good run of it so far. Going up to the roof, as we said. Desperate times, and now desperate measures. If he peeks on over, he might just be vulnerable to Boldenini as well, who have also done a bit of damage there to Nemesis on the other side. And there goes Starry Skies. Vazo trying to drive on away, knowing that they've got to be in another location whilst all of this is going on. It's an important move here for him to be able to secure a position in the circle. Silas takes him out with a perfectly cooked nade. That's no tag team going out, and 35 points will be the mark unless someone takes down Starry Skies right now.
Oh, this is, yeah, happy. This is going to be crazy. Normally, you get the teams at the top, like they stay up and they eventually go down, then the guys at the bottom are fighting. There's so many teams at the bottom which still remain in and all within striking distance getting a win. I'd even throw construction workers in. They're in the compound though, right? And it might bounce back towards them because we see this compound ending a lot. The only question I've got is they have to get kills. So at what point does construction workers have to activate and not just get third party?
Yeah, it's always the problem with a compound like that, as Boldenini here takes a bit of shots against the Mythov here. They're currently still 4 alive, but they're going to have to fight Boldenini pretty soon. But with that compound, it's oftentimes you're watching everybody else killing each other on the opposite, on the sides of a circle. You don't really get much of a look in other than when somebody kind of peeks ahead over a little bit as they're trying to move and jostle for position against another team that they're fighting on an edge side. So I don't know. I don't think, in my mind, I don't see construction workers getting enough kills and enough placement to get it, even if they got the win in my mind. But Fex now does start things off against Habibi. This is moving on up here. Do shut it down. Team Nemesis, thankfully, is out of all of this. And VAR takes down Pains. That's Vis completely gone here. A big one for construction workers, but they've got to get for more.
This is what I'm talking about. At what point do they have to leave? They can't have the safety. No one's crashing in. Everyone's got a home at the moment. They're getting the shots, but not getting the connections all the way. They're getting a few steals. Starry Skies, they send it all the way towards zone. That's what I'm talking about. That grenade's going to finish it. What a grenade from Nail Up. That's some points they need, and they're starting to climb the leaderboard.
Here comes Crash. Here comes Crash from the Mythov, and seeing what they can actually get done here. But Mika, oh no, Justice actually runs over here, man, and Mika's down as well. This could be perfect for construction workers. Have I spoken too soon? Yes. Can they make an insane hold? And everybody's just coming their way now.
They are getting fed points. They might be hungry, but they're hungry to get above the line. They hear the bounce come in. Fexo, he goes for the pre-fire. Grenade needs to come out. The boys are going to stack up. Is it going to be a drop and gone? It's a drop and out, but they still remain. Pixel's there. Can Baldini get involved in this? Do they read the kill feed? Pixel's got to get across quick. He launches not just one, but 2 smokes. But Baldini, they're closing in. Time is ticking.
I think you're absolutely right. If you were Boldenini in this situation, you had to go. That was your moment to go there, but it doesn't look like they've been as aggressive as they needed to be, as they've just sat on the hillside there alongside it all. This is construction workers likely getting everybody, unless somebody posts an insane nade, but it's not going to happen. That is construction workers somehow surviving here. Oh
my God. This is going to be I'm just trying to work out, was Baldini stopped completely in their tracks? I think they were, right? From Boars.
I think so.
It's going to come back
I think the smoke cover had to happen for them to try and kind of negate that line of sight there from Boars. I think Boars has got a really good shot in this game, considering it really depends on this next circle shift. It goes the way of construction workers compound. Oh my god.
Okay, what do you do? Do you stay tight? Vex goes back to that south side, so he's now trying to watch for the information coming through. Vex needs to try and get as many kills as they can. Baldini's not in, so they're going to have to try and push in. So you kind of have to look over towards that east side, that northeast corner. And look, we know Vex, he's got big shoulders. He could potentially hold the team on the south. Fard looks for the reinforcements as well, so he goes in towards the other building. This is going to be a wicked ending.
They've been given a lifeline from the gods. If these players don't win this, I don't know any other way that they could have possibly got into the final, right? Considering this compound, considering how their things have been playing out, it's not quite been going the way of construction workers here so far. But right now, they are 9 points shy of getting into that top 3 position. And again, a lot of those teams on the south side, they're going to have to start moving. The only problem for construction workers is some of those teams are going to shoot at one another when they have to make the move. And you've got to be concerned about the fact that eventually, if you're looking that way for too long, Baldini surely might actually want to make a move on this compound too.
What a game. Construction workers coming into this game. Let's just remind ourselves, in 14th place, people. 14th place. So this would be a climb to fame. As much as Pixel climbs to the fame towards the top, that's definitely one. They're not going to be able to hold out. He doesn't even have to go for the flush. He's not going to get a res, so he's okay. He can just provide pressure. That's the target now. They'll be looking for 10. The spray comes through. Pixel has to be careful from the south side, but they are going to be, I suppose, annoyed at each other because they can't take the break to take the shots to construction workers.
I think a problem becomes that the Boars will survive for quite a while now here, and then they become the moving goalpost on that top 3 if construction workers doesn't do something about them. That said, though, Cadel also down. Construction workers making a mad dash for it right now here for all of these last points, just spraying into these smokes. I think they've got to be very aware of Boars. You've got to be doing something about them, I think.
Pixel's got to be careful. I don't think he knows about the player. I don't think he knows there's one over there. He's got to be cautious though, but we're in a top 4 scenario. Boars go in, that means Starry Skies, unfortunately, they fall out. So they are not in a top 3. That's unfortunate. They are not returning.
Vard knocks Hello Senpai. Maybe both go. Maybe both go, because now with Boars in second place, right? The fact that unless Howl's able to jump as well, as Howl's does not damage to Boars here, this is kind of big. A huge nade! No way! What? 2 nades! Massive stuff for construction workers here! Are they making the dream run, Mark?
They are. They've laid the foundation for the last 2 days. Now they're building the cathedral. They are making the dance up. They're on 35 more points to win a victory here. Puts them over the line. And no tag, despite being up here the whole time, they get set aside.
No way! I can't believe it here. These names, construction workers, after everything that happened throughout the last playoffs, not making it to the final, getting into this compound, being able to make the run, 14 kills, and no way Howl or Baldini are somehow going to be able to make this move for it. They are composed, they are calm, they know this game, this qualification is theirs, Mark. They've got to convert.
Do you know what I really like about this? All 3 of these teams, if they convert, they get in.
Right? Needs 1 point.
The Howl needs 1. Like, construction workers, Baldini need a win. Construction workers got the numbers.
Oh my god.
And Baldini might be a little bit of a snake in the grass. Pixel coming back towards this way. He just needs to swing the line aside. But it comes back to that point. Does he know? Did he pick up the player crawling out towards that side?
If Shimada goes down, if Baldini go down, Howl gets second place, construction workers wins the game, those 2 teams go through, right? Yeah. This is a crazy last game. They know where Shimada is. They know both teams are going to advance. I can't believe it. Yeah. I can't. Unless Howl somehow wins.
Get out of it! Get out of it! The X-Phase boys propped up by Pixel, by Nalebdo. They have had a running, not just the zone, but this day 3. It's been outstanding. The final target is in sight. 16 kills, and they're looking for 1 more.
No, we need to somehow interview construction workers. This is crazy. I've never seen anything like it here. Odin, you've done so much work for Exhal. Congratulations to them. But construction workers, I cannot believe what we just witnessed.